Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. The Celtics on Sunday, let's just go ahead and call it the Mother's Day Massacre, or the Mother's Day Mobsters, because Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, Marcus Morris, not Markieff, and the rest of that crew, Jason Tatum, I can name them on and on and on, came out and let LeBron know that, hey, we the best, as DJ Khaled would say. Now, they lost by 25 points, the Cavaliers did. This young crew that they have with all of this young talent, comprised by Danny Ainge, who should definitely go to the Hall of Fame for the job he's done as being a GM of the Boston Celtics thus far. You got to win a championship, but I will say that he's put together a phenomenal roster. This team definitely showed that it doesn't matter if you have a superstar or not that's on the court. As long as you play team basketball, you can get the job done. LeBron was 0 for 8 on field goals when he was defended by 5 different players, and those field goals were anything outside of 10 feet. He was 0 for 8. The man just could not get a basket to drop because you have fresh bodies switching off and on onto this man, and you force him to be able to change his attack method against all these different defenders, because there's a variety of different ways that you have to defend LeBron, because he can do a variety of different things on the basketball court. Brad Stevens has shown that he is a superior coach time and time again. No, he didn't win Coach of the Year. Yes, Dwayne Casey was fired right after he won Coach of the Year. Brad Stevens, in my personal opinion, deserved that award, but he has the remedy for LeBron James, and he's shown that if you put fresh bodies on him and rotate those bodies. Guys that are aggressive with him, that can be physical with him, that don't mind being physical. Marcus Morris, Marcus Smart, 2 Big 12 guys, Oklahoma State, Kansas, University of Kansas, who have always played defense like that. Then you force the others around him, Jordan Clarkson, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, Kyle Korver, to do something. And I want to say Kyle Korver and J.R. Smith, they were held to 8 points? 6 or 8 points? That's not acceptable when LeBron James is looking for you guys to do something productive. He can't do it all himself. Even though we say LeBron's a phenomenal talent, he's a great athlete, he can't do it all himself. And game 2 tonight, I think it goes to Boston once again. I think that team defense stifles LeBron in ways that will frustrate him, force him to get in early foul trouble, because we know that he's going to drive and penetrate to the basket early, not look for teammates, because he's going to feel like I have to do it all myself tonight. And that's exactly what Brad Stevens understands, and he will have a game plan for it. So I'm taking Boston in game 2. Cleveland, you're going to go back home. You might get the broom brought out on you, but I think LeBron, before he gets the broom brought out, he'll try to score 75, 80 points before he allows that to happen. So best of luck, King James. Rockets versus Warriors, the highly anticipated Western Conference matchup that we knew would transpire throughout the year, throughout the duration of this NBA season. We knew that these teams were on a crash course, a collision course to this Western Conference Finals matchup. Now, both teams were hot as hell last night, shot 13 threes apiece. It looked back and forth early, but then we saw Golden State do what Golden State does, coming out of halftime, ruling the third quarter. That's how they beat teams, is in the second half, early on in the third quarter, they put their foot on their throat and they crushed their trachea. And I'm sorry that's a little bit vivid, but it's just real. Now, early on, James Harden and Draymond Green. Draymond Green, he can be excessive, but I love the way he plays because he sets the tone. You can't worry about the technicals with Draymond Green because he does so much. Yes, he had 5 points, but he also had 9 rebounds, 9 assists. He also is the emotional leader of this Warriors squad. They've shown time and time again that there are times when they can get a little bit lazy, lackadaisical, but from the opening bell, first minute, he gets into with James Harden. Get out of my face, James Harden. Get that beard off me. And lets everybody know I came to play. I mean business this evening. And that's exactly what the Warriors did. That's why they got the win. What was it, 119 to 106? KD is a superior hooper, 37 points. Clay had 28. Chef had 18. James Harden, you got to be more assertive. Don't disappear, Beard. 41 points, 14 for 24 shooting. But you've got to inspire your teammates as well. Chris Paul, he only had 23 points. Yeah, that's okay. But when you're playing this team, both of you guys got to be scoring 30. If you expect to beat the Golden State Warriors, the defending champions, a stacked team, a team that people refer to these days as the Monstars. So maybe Houston will come back in game 2 and play a little bit better. They've already given up and surrendered home court. If they lose and go down 0-2, I don't think they make it back to Houston. I think Golden State's wearing Western Conference champ hats in Oracle Arena by game 4. But we shall see what happens. My prediction, they lose and go down 0-2 because Golden State smells blood. They want to get to this finals matchup, smack whoever's in the East, and say we are 2-year champions back to back, 3 in the last 4 years. Who's gonna challenge us? We the new dynasty. We the best, as DJ Khaled would say once again. Now, some of the big news out there. Congress, the Supreme Court, ends a 1992 law. They threw it out, banning commercial sports betting in multiple states all over the country. We know for a long time people have talked about bookies under the table, and I'm going to go to Las Vegas and place a bet. Well, pretty soon you may not have to do that. Now, people say, what are the consequences of doing such a thing? Well, the one positive aspect of this is for pro sports, it doubles the value of these teams because now you have fans that have much more interest in games because they now know that they can place wagers on this. One thing you worry about, though, is the integrity of these different games. If you allow players who are amateurs in their sports to be wagered on, if you allow that to take place, you've got a greater risk of those who are not getting paid, accepting money under the table, accepting bribes in order to feed their faces and their families because they know that gambling is legal. So the people that I'm speaking of, pardon me, and maybe that was because I'm about to mention the NCAA college athletes. I mean, what would you do? You're an 18, 19-year-old and some guy with a lot of money, some big rich hotshot, a booster at your school says, hey, you know what? I've got 50 grand for you if tonight you only score 15 points and don't score over 16. That kind of changes the integrity of the game. It really will. What happens when we saw the 30 for 30 on Boston College. We saw what happened back in the day with those bookies and how those kids got sucked into that. But now, with this being legal and widespread and people know about it, it opens the door for a lot of different avenues and a lot of different detrimental things that could take place in college sports. Not just the NFL, not just the NBA. Those guys are already getting paid millions. So why would they do that? But you never know. You never know. But people now have the right to do what they got to do to make a little extra cash, I guess. How do you regulate people who are in other states who have families? Don't really know. But you have to figure out something because we don't want to see the collapse of households because this is now going to be legal in multiple states. That's something we don't want to see. Major League Baseball wise, Robinson Cano, we all know he was a Yankee, and then he says, you know what, I don't want that money. I'm going to Seattle to get that money. And he's a third baseman for the Mariners, suspended 80 games today for a drug violation. Now, this was right after he fractured his wrist, and we all found out that he'd be out for the year. And this begs the question to me, is there any stars who are exceptional baseball athletes who are not on any type of juice? It makes me wonder. Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge, if those guys were to get hurt and they have to submit to drug tests, all types of testing, will they test positive? Is this stuff real? Are these players really? Maybe that explains the home run influx last year that took place in Major League Baseball. Possibly. But Robinson Cano, I would have never thought Robinson Cano. I thought Robinson Cano did it all right. His dad played the game. His dad pitched to him in the All-Star game a few years ago in the Home Run Derby. I thought Robinson Cano was for sure one of the guys who did it all the right way. We all make mistakes, but this was a little bit surprising to me. We'll see how he comes back after this injury. He's out 80 games. Shouldn't be the rest of the year, but it's going to be a while. But Robinson Cano, no. Never again. Don't be that guy. NFL-wise, Odell Beckham Jr. was ranked 77 out of 100 for top NFL players by NFL.com. Now, for Odell Beckham, who makes all the IG videos and is always seen at all these high-profile events, it was probably a little bit disheartening to him to feel as though, dang, I'm the 77th best player in the NFL. I was on Madden. I'm out here. I was a top guy on Madden. I was a guy who people remember for my catch. And then you guys rank me 77th? Now, I'd say there's a number of reasons that contribute to this. The injury to his ankle last season, he wasn't on the field. Combined with his off-field antics, we know about the time he went down to Miami with the fellas and they took the picture shirtless and they were all, oh, yeah. And then also We realize his temper on the field when things don't go his way, but he calls it passion. He actually released a video last year of him and Tom Brady and compared him and said, when I do it, I'm disruptive. When he does it, it's passionate. So Odell Beckham Jr., oh, let's not forget about the French models and what he appeared to be holding in his hand. She appeared to be chopping cocaine. We didn't hear anything else about that, but I think those off-field antics probably played a little bit of a role in his ranking. So if I'm Odell Beckham Jr., I look at this and I say, how do I want to be remembered? Do I want to be one of the best receivers ever, or do I want to be one of the best receivers who was never the best because of things I did that were not related to football? Got to do some soul searching, Odell, because I think you got the juice, but the Giants, they just drafted Saquon Barkley. They got Ingram, the tight end. And if Saquon Barkley balls out, I think they look at you as disposable. But, Gettleman said, you don't quit on talent. But I also heard from Josh Norman, Dave Gettleman is a snake. So watch your back, Odell. Tiger Woods is smelling himself again in his tournament this past weekend. Finished in 11th place, tied for 11th. Shot a 65 and a 69 in two of his rounds. Those are lows. Those are the type of numbers you want to see. Those are Tiger Woodish numbers. Can he continue to come back and play this way? He will become great and buy his time back if he just continues to stay in it. He looks healthier. The swing looks better. I don't know what he got done, but he looks like he could return to his old form sooner rather than later. He said he was really happy when he played, how he played. He looked good shooting the ball in that black hat with that red shirt. So Tiger Woods, we waiting on you. Where you at, bro? Show us something. Now, that is definitely all I have for you guys today. And I appreciate you watching the Zono Sports Show. Love to give you the juice. Sorry for the wait on a Tuesday, but as usual, thank you for watching the Zono Sports Show, where Zonos.